our founder father, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for the spirit of stewardship that he has offered this country, for the patience with which he is leading Uganda, and for the tolerance with which he understands Uganda deeply. We thank him so much and we wish him more life. I also thank His Excellency the President for giving me a good team at the party secretariat to work with. I'm sure for the first time in the history of the party, you have seen cooperation in the party, teamwork, togetherness, and because of that, I sincerely thank him for assembling a good team to work at the party secretariat. Comrades and countrymen, the purpose of this press conference, of course, is to update the public about the few activities that the party undertook in this year and the promise, the pledges that we have to make for the next coming year. Allow me to thank once again the President for availing us the humble opportunity and the ambience within which we individually and collectively as a country do excel in our various activities. On issues of government, and as you know, it is the NRM party that contested through its manifesto that was elected in the previous election and set up a government. And so we also do audit of our government. We see how the government is performing. We recommend where there are weaknesses, how they should improve. So because of that, definitely in the last election, we were elected as a party to lead this country for another 5 years term. The election was very peaceful and smooth. We thank the people of Uganda for trusting NRM and for trusting His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni by giving him and the party their vote. Of course, in Buganda and Busoga, our voting pattern reduced for reasons that the party is deeply investigating, and very soon we shall issue out the reasons as to why we did not perform well in Buganda and Busoga. Some of the reasons are internal and others are external. Others are ideological, others are social, economical. So we shall distill these reasons and address them at the right time. As a party, we are satisfied with the performance of government of NRM so far, even if there are challenges that I will mention later on. But so far the government is performing well. We are stable. Our currency is stable. Inflation has been controlled. There is peace in total in the whole parts of the country, with the exception of a few instances that I'll talk about later on. So we believe that the government is performing so well so far. Of course, as we perform, we don't applaud ourselves with the successes that we score. We still continue to recognize the challenges that we face. Some of these challenges that we have registered over the years emanates from activities of individuals who do not wish Uganda to be peaceful. We have seen quite a number of sporadic incidences of insecurity, unfortunate attacks on our security forces, the police stations, army barracks. Yesterday we were shocked with what the ADF tried to do in Ntoroko, and we thank the UPDF for the swift response and arresting quite a number of them. So we believe the area of security is being handled, and we believe and we trust that the security of this country will never be played around with if our chairman and the revolutionary leader, President Yoweri Museveni, is still in charge of the country. We also note with concern that there have been reports of quite a number of land grabbing in this country, especially in the central region, and it's now even extending to other regions of the country. This, as a party, we take very seriously because our core principles and values is to protect the poor and the vulnerable. We condemn in the strongest term possible individuals who are unlawfully grabbing innocent people's land around the country. And we are compiling the list as a party, and very soon the party will demand that government takes serious action against some of these individuals. We also noted with concern that the outbreak of COVID and Ebola affected our economy greatly. Quite a number of small businesses and enterprises were affected. Quite a number of individuals were affected. Schools were closed. Incomes were lost. We sympathize with the individuals that got affected because of COVID and Ebola, and we believe that the situation is getting back to normal and the economy will get rejuvenated. We also got through the year that there are quite a number of insecurity emanating from cattle rustling in Karamoja. It has been unfortunate that the neighbors got disturbed. The whole Karamoja sub-region was disturbed because of individuals that do not feel there should be peace in that region. And again, we thank UPDF and Ugandan police for maintaining calm and stability in the area. As you all know, we also registered quite a number of landslides and floods that affected families and communities around the country because of the effect of global warming. And when the president keeps talking of preserving wetlands and community leaving the wetlands should settle out of the wetland, we should listen to such preachings, because the consequences and the effect to that is that the floods are affecting other settlement areas. And so we believe that the population is listening to this, and as a party, we want to amplify that we need to protect our wetlands, we need to protect our rivers, our lakes, and we need to plant more trees to mitigate the effect of climate change. We also noted with concern that over the years, because of the turmoil in Europe, the war between Ukraine and Russia, were escalating prices of fuel and food commodities. This affected also households. And as a party, we are concerned, and we believe that our government took the necessary measures to insulate us from the deeper impact of this global crisis. On the issue of corruption, we keep talking and amplifying the message that the national chairman has been giving the country. Corruption is not only in government, corruption is becoming like a way of life of our people. We need to condemn corruption in the strongest possible term so that we see this country grow. As a party, we are concerned that some of our promises and social services that are supposed to be given to our people in the districts are being affected due to corruption. We are also moving into that very seriously. Just recently, we got quite a number of list of districts that tampered with the money that the government sent for the parish development model. And we are following this very seriously. And the civil servants who are involved in this should stand warned, because the party will not keep holding its hands and watching when our resources are being wasted at local government level, sub-county level, and at the national level. We are also going to discuss this. We have compiled quite a number of reports that we shall present to the Central Executive Committee of the party, and I'm sure actions will be taken against individuals who have been found not to be worthy to serve in public service. As you know, there are quite a number of issues about mass youth unemployment in the country and in the region. This is not only affecting NRM or Uganda, it is an impact that is affecting the whole of sub-Saharan Africa and all third world countries. And the issue is deeper, that we inherited education system that train our young people, young graduates, to remember, to memorize lectures, but not to learn. And I'm happy that our government has taken note that we are trying to improve and correct our curriculum to teach our children skills that can be applicable in the labor market. Otherwise, if we continue like this, Africa risks having human beings who are educated, can speak good English, but they're not helpful for the continent. So we need to train our young people skills that they can apply in the labor market. On the issues of the party, When we came to office immediately after 2021 general elections, there were a number of election-related petitions. A total of 50 election petitions directly affecting our flag bearers were lodged in the Court of Appeal. After the petitions were after the petitioners were dissatisfied with the judgment passed in the High Court, the other petitions filed in the Court of Appeal, as we know, were mainly affecting the party flag bearers and were also affecting the members of the party who contested against each other in the past. In total, 15 petitions were lodged by NRM flag bearers, while 35 petitions were lodged against NRM flag bearers. 10 petitions were decided against the NRM flag bearers. These were in Lamour for District Woman Representative, Ndora East in Kabale, Budaka in Budaka District, Kagoma in Jinja, Mbale for District Woman MP, Buikula South in Mubende, and Bukoma Simbi South in Bukoma Simbi District. We also had issues in Mityana District, where the court decided against the party flag bearer, and in Katikamu North in Luero. 4 elections were nullified and by-elections were ordered. These were in Buchimbiri County in Kisoro District, Busongora South in Kasese, Soroti City East, and Gogonya County in Palisa. And I'm happy to repeat and to reinstate that the party was satisfied with the performance of our candidates and the members because we won in all these by-elections. Alongside that, you remember we also had by-elections in Omoro County when we lost our dear Speaker, the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya, and we also won the constituency. In Kayunga, we had the election of the chairman, LC5, after the death of the former chairman. We also won. So the party definitely performed so well. We won in all the by-elections that were organized. This is because of the coordination, organization, and ability to communicate better to the population. Alongside that, there are quite a number of councils and councillors' positions that fell vacant. We won by a margin of close to 90% against all other political parties. There are 3 election petitions which were referred to the High Court for retrials on their merits, and we believe that the High Court will soon conclude the retrial of these petitions, and we see what comes after the court decision. During the same period, there were quite a number of local council elections that I've already talked about. Dear countrymen, we also remember that Electoral Commission during this year sent notice to political parties and the country about the elections of the Women Council, the Women Council elections. As a party, we went ahead and got our flag bearers in all the villages of Uganda. And unfortunately, the Electoral Commission postponed the election of the Women Council. We are just waiting for the day they can reinstate this election and we present our flag bearers for elections. We call upon our members who are part of this exercise to be on standby because anytime Electoral Commission might demand that we continue with the election of the Women Council. Very soon, we are going to have the update of our party register. And as you know, in the last internal election of the party, what caused us a lot of challenges were because our party register was not properly cleaned. We have done an audit of the register. We are soon going to take this register back to the population for them to, those who support us, to add their names, remove names that are not there, and then to put other details about their residential areas and the national ID numbers, the age, and other fields. Then we shall come and have a clean register before we can order for the structure elections of the party. And we believe this coming year we shall have the structure elections and members will participate fully. Comment on the issue that is going on in the public domain, mainly about the endorsement of the president as the presidential candidate come 2026 general election. One is that this is not something new. In the last SEC retreat at Chobe, the SEC members made a resolution that the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni should continue leading this country in 2021, 2026, and beyond. So this is already a resolution that was made by the party. There is nothing new about this. The young people that are moving around, they are expressing their wishes, they are expressing that this should be actualized. And they are not campaigning. This is just expression of interest by young people, because there are a lot of propaganda around the country that President Yoweri Museveni is not popular among young people. So the young people of the party thought it wise to come out and show the public that General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the chairman of the revolution of the party, is still very popular among young people. But they're not campaigning. They're just expressing their wishes, and we believe that at the right time, the party, through the normal channels, will process these wishes plus all other wishes that are coming from other districts that we are trying to pick, and process and see how best these issues can be presented. So we need to clear the air that there is nothing new about this. The party is aware, the party made decisions about this, and we believe that campaigns has not yet started. At the right time, campaigns will come, and the party will officially present President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at the right time. Activities. The philosophy of the party, as we all know, is that we dispense mass governance for everybody. Our structures, our natures, our aim as a party is to allow everybody to partake of what government should deliver. And that is the philosophy of NRM. As a mass party, through the guidance of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as always, whatever policy we design, whatever laws that we pass, is for the benefit of the ordinary person and for everybody, whether you support NRM or not. And this channeled through the 4 pillars of the party: patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. We believe that we dispense governance through the pillars that we believe in strongly and we prophesy. And because of that, we have established cordial, mutual working relationship with quite a number of parties. I'm sure you all know that the National Resistance Movement Party is the chair of IPOD Summit and the IPOD Council. We have been in this for the last 2 years because of how we provide leadership to other members of other political parties. Currently, I am the chairman of IPOD Council, and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is the chairman of IPOD Summit. IPOD has political parties with representation in parliament. We have just concluded signing of the second memorandum of understanding among political parties, and we believe that through the IPOD umbrella, this memorandum shall be presented to the public very soon. But out of IPOD, there are other political parties that are also registered and are willing to work and cooperate with NRM. These are the Revolutionary People's Party, Green Partisan Party, People's United Movement, National Peasants Party, Liberal Democratic Party. These parties have expressed interest to join NRM in a way of cooperation. And so we are willing and eager to work with them. So if you see, of the registered parties in Uganda, close to 10 political parties are working closely with NRM, which is something we should pride ourselves in. That is something that we believe very strongly. COVID-19 interfered with our work. We had embarked on a district-to-district audit of our political structures. We did this in quite a number of districts as a secretariat. We covered Bukedi sub-region, we went to other districts, but COVID came and there was a total lockdown. And when the lockdown was eased, then we went for by-elections, and we got so busy with the many by-elections. We need to confirm to our party members that starting next month, we are going to start the activities of moving around the districts to see and examine our structures and talk to our leaders at the district level. We also introduce ideological clinics at the party. These lectures were helping our young people to understand the genesis of NRM, the history of NRM, the promises of NRM, the future that we aspire to reach, and to coordinate our activities to have mutual cooperation with one another. Along the same year, we established the Legacy magazine, which also captured in detail the history of the party, the policies of the party, the programs and the structures and how we do our work. And I believe that those who don't believe in NRM would find time and read our writings in the public lands. We are initiating a program of helping our young people and our young upcoming leaders. One of the serious disasters we see in leadership is that in everything we do, there must be a point of entry, there must be grooming. And we see this in many areas, but very little in political leadership. In Uganda, if you speak good English, you get to a village, you are elected, you become a leader without understanding your purpose as a leader. As NRM, we are embarking on a program of training our councillors, training our leaders at local level and national level on how to understand the people's concern, how to feel the nerves of the population, and how to respond to some of this. Like the president has always advised us that leaders are social doctors. As a social doctor, you need to understand the social, political, and economic situation of the population, and you address them. You are not a leader for your own good, you are a leader for the good of the people. So what have you done? And because of that, I'm sure you remember, or you might recall, that we issued a statement that we are currently as a party doing an evaluation on our leaders to see whether these leaders have lived to the expectations of the party, to the expectations of the voters, and they are yet popular among the population. Because if they are not, there will be a liability to the party. So as a party, we are concerned, we want to improve the quality of our leaders at whatever level they go to. Administrative matters, there is no organization in Uganda which is bigger than NRM, not even government of Uganda, in terms of manpower. Government of Uganda in total has less than 600,000 employees. But the party of NRM has close to 2.5 million leaders. These are leaders only. 2.5 million leaders. This is because at the village we have 30 people, parish we have 30 people, sub-county we have 30 people. So if you multiply this 30 by the number of villages in Uganda and the number of parishes, it comes to close to about 2.4 million people. Now these 2.45 million people that we have as leaders of the party, we need to help them understand their purpose of leadership. We need to help them understand why they are leaders within the areas they represent. And we are going to move out as a secretariat, like I told you, to help our leaders appreciate the purpose of being leaders. We have party offices in all the districts of Uganda. These party offices are up to date and are running very well with our administrative secretaries. We need to thank them for keeping these offices open, and we shall be doing more to also train them to become administrators of a party. Administrators of a party, there are certain things they need to understand based on social and economic issues that prevail in your areas. We have embarked on construction of party offices in districts, as we also plan to construct at the national level our head office. So far, we are almost concluding the construction of Gulu office. After that, we shall move to Mityana district. And along the way, we have also been blessed that quite a number of our supporters have offered to build party offices in their districts. The Right Honorable Prime Minister has built one in Kagumiro. The chairman of the party in Sironko has built us a party office in Sironko district. Another good Samaritan has built for us a party office in Buwejo. All these are structures and properties that belong to the party, in addition to what we intend to do every time we finish one. So we have started, and the condition is we need to get free land donated for the party in the name of the party. Then the party secretariat can mobilize resources to put up a party structure in a particular district. You remember we thanked the president for mobilizing transport facilities for our party leaders. All our party branch leaders at the village level have yellow bicycles. Our parish chairpersons have yellow bicycles. Our sub-county chairpersons have motorcycles. That is the capacity of NRM, and we are still continuing to mobilize more resources to support our structures at the lower level. On foreign relations, I am pleased to report that NRM seems to be a magnet, and so many people are wishing to come and learn from NRM. We have very cordial brotherly relationship with most of the African political parties. We have visited them, they have visited us. We are in touch with them. Personally, I'm in touch with almost all the secretary generals of the African political parties. Our members went to represent us with in the first National Congress of the Prosperity Party of Ethiopia. We have contacts and open chapters in Canada, Europe, America, and South Africa. We have very close working relationship with the CCM, Chama cha Mapinduzi of Tanzania. We have very close working relationship with ANC of South Africa. We have very close working relationship with the SPLM of South Sudan, Frelimo of Mozambique, ZANU-PF of Zimbabwe, MPLA of Angola, RPF of Rwanda, UDA of Kenya, and many other political parties. Around the world, we have very close working relationship with the CPC, the Communist Party of China, which has been offering us training for a long time. I personally benefited, and quite a number of senior leaders of the party benefited. We are in touch with the Russian Communist Party and the Cuban Communist Party. Now, this should be taken in a way that the NRM believe in unity and togetherness. The history of the world, as we know, that in the past the world was divided into two ideological blocks, the capitalist West and the socialist communist East. But with the fall of the Berlin Wall, these historical revolutionary ideological walls collapse, and there are new liberal arrangements that are coming that makes a revolutionary party like NRM starts to understand society and organization better. This we have also seen in terms of rights, interests, religion, and social services that should be delivered. And we also believe that the area of environment has come in under the new liberal arrangement. So we adjust our philosophy and revolutionary nature based on such. We held meetings with the European Union. They came and paid a courtesy call at the party. There was a time that the NRM was being accused that we are violent, we are abusing human rights, we are not tolerant, we are what. So the European Union came, and we told them that the NRM is actually much more affected than any political party. And now, as I speak, I've just received a letter from the Human Rights Commission saying that there is a report they got that NRM supporters are being intimidated in Kampala. All the stages of Kampala, the taxi stages, Boda stages, when you wear yellow, you are intimidated, you are beaten. Now, if people think NRM is not suffering, that should be a nutshell. We have been having our flag bearers of Kampala come at the party here because of the hostility they face within the areas of residence. So we believe that this should stop, and we warn anybody who is interested in arming any member of the party to stand warned. Because when we mobilize our numbers and strength, you will not stand. What do we plan to do in 2023? We intend to expand the ideological clinics in universities and districts to help mentor our young people. We intend to introduce Kiswahili teaching to our leaders, because with the East African Federation, our leaders should start speaking Kiswahili. I'm happy that in cabinet every morning before the cabinet meeting starts, cabinet ministers undergo Kiswahili lessons. And we also want to do that as a party to teach our leaders to speak Kiswahili so that they have another language for communication in addition to the local languages that we speak. We teach our leaders and train them in the art of public speaking, social research, and community communication. We are going to help our leaders in the areas of personal management. You see, earlier on I talked about grooming of leaders. It is embarrassing to see a member of parliament being in parliament for 2 terms and leaving parliament and come out and still looking for a job. So we need to teach our leaders areas of financial literacy, financial discipline, personal discipline, social discipline, all these things. These are responsibilities of an organization where such a leader resides, or and prescribed rather. The publication of the 3rd edition of the Legacy will continue, and we believe that when we celebrate our day on the 26th of January next month, the 3rd edition of the Public Lands will be out. We intend to open a circle for the party members in order to reduce on the burden of members giving demands to our national chairman. We want our members to learn how to save and be productive and invest in this ambience and wonderful environment that we have. We shall continue with the construction of party offices at the districts, and we shall be declaring them as they get finished. I need to warn our members on the issue of indiscipline. Indiscipline. We speak to each other with a lot of disrespect. We speak to each other with a lot of hate. We speak to each other as if we know, and yet we don't know. Members and the public and the members especially of the party should learn to respect one another. There is a hierarchy in the party. There is a way you can address your matter. But when you follow social media, you follow what people speak, they speak without paying attention to what the party they represent stands for. This party is not something anybody can play around with. This party is not something that somebody can easily abuse and go away with. The party is massive and mega. You attack the party, you would have attacked the real core of what many Ugandans believe in. So we warn those individuals who are indisciplined. Humility cannot remove anything from you. It only adds to you. Be humbled. Be humbled. NRM supporters and members, let us be humbled. Be humane. Respect people. Respect one another. Speak with courtesy. Don't speak like you have authority over people. The authority you have has been given to you by the ordinary person. Respect that person. Listen to that person. Address their concern. Then we shall be stronger as a party. In conclusion, I would once again thank the President and the Chairman of the National Resistance Movement for continuous guidance and support in building the party and in the overall decentralization process of the country. I also thank members of the Central Executive Committee for the supportive resolutions passed and decisions reached in the interest of the party and the country that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni should continue leading this country. So there is no crisis, there is no panic, there are no calms. We are moving steadily. I also take this opportunity to thank colleagues at the party head office and structures for the effective and collaborative teamwork and discipline that we have. It is this team spirit that we should usher into 2023. To the party faithfuls and the general public, the festive season of Christmas has come, for which we must take time and reflect on blessings that the Almighty has bestowed to us individually and as a family. I appeal to the country to celebrate the festive season with restraint. This is not the first and the last Christmas. Christmas will keep coming. We always advise people that the first cost on your expenditure during Christmas should be paying school fees for your child for the next term in January. That should be the first item on the cost for December. Otherwise, you will finish all the money with excitement, and January comes, you'll start begging around. That should not be the case. Be careful that as we go for this festive season, there are robbers, there are thieves, there are burglars, there are assaults, pickpocketers, con men, and women. These days are also con women. There are rapists, there are all sorts of characters running around looking for the same. So take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and make sure that you are safe during this season. I appeal to the motorists, to especially border cyclists, to strictly observe road safety measures so as to avoid unnecessary accidents and fatalities. I urge the communities to mobilize and organize by providing intelligence information to security in their respective villages. Be your brother's watchman. Make sure you understand your environment. Any visitor that has come in your village, you ask that visitor where he has come from, where he is coming, or what he's doing in your area. We've had incidences of people in the villages now fearing even people who come from towns. They think you have carried Ebola and taking them to the villages. They think you have gone with wrong elements. So be careful and make sure it doesn't pay, or it doesn't hurt rather, if you just pay a courtesy visit to the LC1 chairman of your village. Say, I have come with my family for the village for Christmas. I'm going to be around for 4 or 5 days or 1 week. Even if you know the chairman, just report. It doesn't remove anything from you. Let us be conscious that HIV/AIDS still exists, Ebola still exists, COVID still exists. We need to be responsible. Avoid crowds, don't touch hands with each other, don't hug, wash your hands always, and make sure you live a safe life. Finally, I wish the party faithful and the country a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year. I thank you so much.
Amen.
It was the SEC resolution that came from the meeting of 2019 at Chobe Safari Lodge in Noya district that made that resolution, and we have the copy of that resolution. We were making that as we were moving to 2021 election, and the resolution was talk of 2021 and beyond. So we still hold that until SEC changes that. But still, as a party, we believe that is the position of the party. The lady from NBS, NRM manifesto, how much have you achieved? The NRM manifesto is not like a classroom exercise. It is a social contract between the party and the people. The social contract means we marketed our manifesto, we gave it to a government, and the government is helping us implement. You also need to understand the composition of government. Government is composed of people who are NRM and those who don't necessarily belong to NRM by constitution. These are the civil servants. And even there are those who are elected and they are not necessarily NRM, just for checks and balances. So in view of this, I would say our manifesto was divided into 3 areas. The first phase of the manifesto was for us to understand the history of Uganda, the pre-colonial history of Uganda, the colonial history of Uganda, and the post-colonial history of Uganda, and how these histories affected our economy, because that is a very big issue for us to understand. And when we got independence, from 1962 up to 1986, that NRM government came, what was the state of the economy of Uganda? Uganda was a failed state. So NRM picked Uganda from 1986, when Uganda was in total ruins, in total chaos, and started building structures, manpower, gaining investors' confidence. And so it took quite a number of time to stabilize the Uganda we are in now. By that time, the population was just about 14 million. Now the population is about 45 million. By that time, the energy generation was only about 180 megawatts. Now we are at 2,800 megawatts. By that, so there are variables we can go through. Now, as to asking how far have we gone? Definitely, when you look at the GDP of the country now under NRM, this year there was a debate that have we reached a middle income status or we have not yet reached middle income status. That debate was already good enough. It was an indicator that NRM is between the boundary of a middle income status, Uganda rather, is between the boundary of a middle income status and almost getting there. So it was a positive plus. And then we see the way businesses are coming into the country, the number of investments that have come in the country, the infrastructure development, the social programs that we have. I believe these are running on so well, and I'm sure you also know that these are running, because these are the items we have put in our manifesto. We talked of extension of electricity to all the administrative centers and districts of Uganda. We have achieved that. We talked of connecting all the districts to the national grid. We have done that. We talked of building a national and regional referral hospitals. We are doing that. We talked of building schools per parish, per sub-county, and technical schools per constituencies. We are doing that. We talked of expanding water for production in the rural areas through irrigation and all that. We are doing that. So everything we've promised is going on very well. We talked of parish development model when we were coming in this Kisanja. I'm sure you have seen it has started. Money has been rolled out to the parishes, and every parish will be getting 100 million per year. So all these are indicators that we are moving in the right direction. So, and we have just been in office for like about a year. How much more shall we cover when we finish this term? And would anyone stand to contest against NRM if we continue doing the right thing? So the answer is yes, we are progressing well, and we are achieving most of the things we have pledged to the public. NRM facing a lot of chaos and criticisms from the first son. The first son, by nature of his work, is not yet a fully registered member of the party. He's a serving general, he's a serving UPDF officer. I'm sure within that there are codes of conduct of a serving officer in the army, and I'm sure the army will take rightful measure to restrain one of their own. But as a party, we won't, I told you earlier on, we won't anybody. Not even the chairman of the party can insult the organization. Not even the founder of the party can insult the organization. The party is bigger than all of us, and we must respect the party. And I'm sure when he started touching the party, you saw the turn of events, that party members started coming out and speaking. And because of that, we're saying, you restrain. These are things that we shall handle. This could have been a misguided opinion about the party. We might need to help those who don't understand the party to understand the party a little more. How we do our things, how we communicate, how we understand social issues, how we cooperate, and how you can offer yourself to be a leader within the party and outside the party. So there are things that we need to help other people understand. And so I don't think, and we don't take it in bad faith, we accept criticisms. A revolutionary party should accept criticisms. I'm sure you read what Comrade Ofonopono wrote about the party. It is good. Such criticisms are good. And it is only good for us to look internally and reflect about some of these things. But as you criticize, the English say, step the shoes but don't spoil the shine. Criticize but don't insult. Criticize but respect. Step the shoes but don't spoil the shine. That is the warning we give to everybody. Are you taking long to organize structure elections? Like I told you, the total number of voters in Uganda are about 17.4 million. The total number of the population of Uganda is about 45 million plus. The NRM party, in the audit we did in our register, we have about 11 million registered voters. We are yet to update our register. Our electoral stations are at village level. We are bigger than the National Electoral Commission. All the villages of Uganda is a polling station for NRM. And we have close to about 72 to 3,000 villages of Uganda. Now, organizing a structure election where in every village you have 30 people elected in a village, the exercise is massive and is expensive. So definitely, the party regulates cost vis-a-vis necessity of having these structures done. And in our constitution, we are supposed to be doing this every after 5 years, and we are still in the right course. We are going to have these elections. Like I said, hopefully by next year we shall have the elections of the structures. But we need first to clean our register, make sure we have a well acceptable register of the party that our members can easily rely on. Part of the confusion we got into last time was because the register was not clear and everybody came and lined up. And remember, we improved our voting system from secret ballot to lining up. So you don't need to question anybody who is on a line behind a candidate, whether he or she is an NRM person, unless that person's name is not in the register. So the first assignment we are doing is to clean and have a good register in order for us to conduct these elections, including election to replace the late Right Honorable Jacob Olanya. Because that election is not a college election. It's a universal election. For a SEC member to be a SEC member, you are elected by every member of the party from around the country. So we need first to clean the register and have these elections handled properly. If you are to give yourselves mark, 0 being the lowest, I would feel shy to give myself because I don't mark myself. I rather allow you to mark me and give me the mark. The way you are observing us, the way you're observing the party, what marks are you giving us? Are you giving us average 50? You're giving us above 50 or below 50? But we believe we are satisfied with our performance. We are moving on the right direction. If it is about awarding marks, definitely I can award myself and the party a very handsome figure. But I leave that to you to gauge us, to see whether we are moving on the right direction. You don't mark the party just because of color we wear. We promised that we are reducing on the rate of poverty in Uganda. Is poverty increasing or decreasing? We promise peace and stability in this country. We promise opportunities to people. We promise this, we promise that. What are the circumstances? How are we dispensing these promises that we have given to people? Are we moving on the right direction? Are you peaceful where you're staying? Do you have food? Are you doing your businesses? Other factors constant, meaning the lockdown of COVID also discounted our marks. The effect of Ebola also discounted our mark. The war of Ukraine and Russia also affected our economy. It reduced on our tax and revenue collection. So if you are a good teacher and you are marking this student called NRM, you discount some of those and you balance and you give us something that can be above pass mark, I'm sure. The issue of discipline from party members, I've talked about it. We have the party constitution, Schedule 4 is very clear about discipline, and we all abide by that. And we have internally discussed that we need to reactivate the disciplinary committees of the party. This indiscipline where everybody is speaking in chorus, everybody wants to speak, everybody is right, everybody is an authority, that cannot lead an organization. There must be order. There must be restraint. There must be humility. And we believe we are going to present all this in the next SEC meeting, and SEC will come up with very serious measures against indiscipline in the party. Thank you so much. Communicate. I'm sure you are bored of my voice, but I know Luganda, so she can now help me.
For this presser, and we thank all colleagues that are in attendance today on behalf of our larger colleagues that are away on official assignments. Ntwala omukisa guno okuddamu obubaka obwa Secretary General naye nja buyisa mu bufunze kuba kye ngenda okukola kwe kuwaako entegeera yange ku bubaka obwo mu Luganda. Message ya Secretary General nako olwaleero asoose n'okwagaliza Abannayuganda bonna omwaka gwe tusemberedde okuggwa okubaagaliza omwaka. Can I repeat? Kansubire mu kaati nze mumanyi obbulekamu. Okay, nga bwe tusemberera okumaliriza omwaka ogwa 2012 Secretary General atutte olunaku olwaleero n'asaba abakulembeze b'ekitebe n'abakozi ab'ekitebe ekya NRM okujja tutuule tumalirize omwaka gwaffe obulungi, okwegayirira Katonda, okumusiima olw'obulamu n'okutusoboseza ebyo byonna bye tusobodde okukola mu mwaka gwe tugenda okuwunzika. Era obubaka bwe atutte obudde n'asaasira famire zonna ezaafiirwako ab'eŋŋanda mu ngeri emu oba enjawulo kuba tubadde ne Ebola ne COVID, era mu ngeri emu n'asabira abo bonna abali ku bitanda mu malwaliro nti tubasabire ffenna awamu okulaba nga basuuka yonna gye bali. Atutte era obudde mu meseji ye ekomekereza omwaka gwa 2022 okubanga yeebaza Katonda olw'obukulembeze oba olw'omukulembeze gwe yatukwasa nga ye chairman w'ekibiina kyaffe ekya NRM, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, okulaba nga Katonda kituufu teyatuwa buwi mukulembeze naye yatuwa omukulembeze gwe tulaba nga kirabo eri ffe ab'ekibiina kya NRM, eri kontinenti yaffe ya Africa n'ensi yonna okutwaliza awamu. Era nga akyasiima yeeyongedde okusiima kati mukulembeze waffe chairman wa NRM n'amwebaza olw'abantu be yamuweereza wano ku kitebe. Mwe muli ffe abatudde wano ne bannaffe beŋŋambye nti bakeddeko ku mirimu emirala okulaba nga yamukwasa ttiimu ennungi gye bakwasagana nayo emirimu gy'okuddukanya enkulaakulanya y'ekitebe kyaffe n'eggwanga awamu nga ekibiina ekiri mu buyinza. Mu meseji y'emu Secretary General atutte obudde okubanga atuyitiramu nsonga ki ezigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga n'ebirowoozo byaffe ng'abakulembeze mu pate bifaanana bitya okulaba nga tugonjoola ensonga ezitufuukidde enzibu mu byenfuna, ezitufuukidde enzibu mu by'obukulembeze ne mu byenkolegana, social stability mu ggwanga lyonna. Naye nga tanaba kumenyaamenya nsonga ezo, tweyongedde okuba nga tufuna obubaka bwe nga yeebaliza ddala obutakoowa abantu ba Uganda abaawaayo obudde bwabwe era ne bakwasa ekibiina kya NRM obwesige n'obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okuimplementinga manifesto yaffe nga pate eri mu buyinza eya NRM kuba ye manifesto gye baalaba nga yesaanidde okuimplementingibwa n'okweyongera okubeebaza olwa sapooti gye bagenze nga batuwa n'abantu baffe abali mu nsi yonna okulaba nga tutuukiriza ebyo bye tweyama eri abantu. Mu bintu byonna azze n'anokolayo ebintu bye tutunuulidde ng'ebibadde bitusoomooza ennyo mu mwaka guno oguwedde. Tubadde ne attacks abantu abagenze nga balumba police stations zaffe, ne tubeera n'okusoomooza mu by'obulamu mu nsonga za COVID-19 era ne Ebola, n'anokolayo ekizibu ekirala kye tubadde nakyo ekya cattle rustling n'ensonga eza landslides bannaffe abali mu areas eza Elgon mu bimanyi bulungi, ne emiwendo egy'ebintu egibadde nga gyeyongera olw'embeera ezigenda mu maaso n'endwadde ezituzinzeeko ensi yonna okulaba nga ebintu ebitubeesaawo mu bulamu bwa bulijjo nabyo bigenze byeyongera. So zino ensonga zonna zinokoddeyo era n'akakasa Abannayuganda nti ng'ekibiina tuli mu exercise ey'okukubaganako ebirowoozo ku nsonga zino nga zibadde zibeerawo oba obuzibu bwe twadde tufune ripoota gye tugenda okuweereza mu gavumenti yaffe eya NRM sooka okulaba nga tufuna engeri gye tusobola okugonjoolamu ensonga zino era nga tuyitira ddala mu ministries, departments ne agencies zaffe ze tulina mu gavumenti ya NRM naye nga ziweereddwa amagezi n'ekibiina ekiri mu buyinza. Meseji yaffe olunaku olwaleero era nayo teyeerabidde ensonga y'ebbula y'emirimu, obuli bw'enguzi, obuvuyo obuli mu kibbattaka, naye bino byonna tuligenda kubigonjoola kimu ku kimu kuba tulina task forces ez'enjawulo ng'otaddeko ne secretariat wano obukulembeze bwayo, tuli kutuula ne task forces ez'enjawulo eziri okuŋŋaanya obujulizi ne evidences n'ensonga we ziri oba obuzibu we buli okulaba nga tuwa gavumenti yaffe amagezi okusobola okumalawo obuzibu buno obutufuukidde ekyambika. Bwe twajja mu office mu 2011 twali tuva mu kulonda. Secretary General tutegeezezza nti okulonda bwe kuggwa namwe mubimanyi tubeeranga ne cases ezibeera mu kooti. Abantu baddukira mu kooti either ng'agamba banzibye oba oli ng'agamba obululu bwange bwabukyusiza ono agamba bintu ebyenjawulo. Naye mu misango egyawawaabirwa abantu baffe twafunamu abantu ba NRM oba bakwatira NRM ebbendera abantu 50 be baakosebwa n'emisango egyo. Era tunyonyodde nti emisango egyo 50 petitions ezaali zeekuusaako ku bantu abakwatidde NRM ebbendera. 15 baali bawabaabidde abakwatira NRM bendera. Naye ate 35 abantu baffe be baakola ki? Be baawaaba. Gino emisango gyonna gigenze giwulirwa. Petitions 10 ze baali bawaabidde aba NRM zo zaamala okuggwa nga mwe muli eyalamwo, Ndorwa East, Budaka, Kagoma, Mbale, Buwekula, Bukomansimbi, Mityana ne Katikamu Eluweero, Katikamu North. Zino zonna zigenze zikola ki? Zivaayo. Ne tubeera ne by-elections nazo ne elections nazo 4 ezasalizwamu okulaba nga ziddibwamu. Okwali Bukimbiri, eno ya Kisoro, Busongola, eno ya Kasese, Soroti, City East ne Gogonyo, that is Palisa. So zino zonna twamala ne tuddayo era mu kalulu ke bayita by-elections ezennya atukakasizza era nga bwe kiri zonna NRM yasobola okubanga eziwangula. Mu by-elections ezo ezaali ku parliamentary level twalina nezaali ku local government level. Local government level zo twafunira ddala obuwanguzi obwatuukira ddala 90% ku bifo ebyavuganyizibwa. Tulina ne Women Council elections nazo zaali zirina okukolebwa kuba Women Council elections zo tezaali part of the by-elections naye nga taamu yaabwe yali eze ku nkomerero. Olw'obuzibu obumu na buli Electoral Commission, Independent Electoral Commission neeyimiriza akalulu ako kuba baali ensonga gye baatuwa ensimbi baali tebalina nsimbi ziwera. Kati nga bakyakuŋŋaanya ensimbi era baatutegeeza nti bajja kweyongera okututegeeza bwe bafunye olunaku olupya lwe bagenda okukubirako kano akalulu. Naye NRM teyatuula. Twavaawo ne tufuna abantu baffe okuva mu NRM Electoral Commission. Tiimu ya NRM Electoral Commission negendera ddala ku byalo ne tusobola okufuna ba flag bearer oba abantu abagenda tukwatira bendera okuviira ddala ku byalo paka ku district level. So ffe tulina ba flag bearer baffe kye tulinze kimu kasita bagamba nti Women Council elections ziri ready. Kati ngeyo Independent Electoral Commission yetutegeeza tujja kuba tusimbula abantu baffe ogendo campaigningira already ba flag bearer abali in place. Tulina register yaffe. Register eno tugikolako emikolo egy'okugicleaninga, okulaba nga twongeramu abantu abalala. Ocleaninga tutegeeza ki? Kuba tulina embeera nti buli kulonda okwemabegayo kwabaddengawo at least weesanga nga waliwo oba constituency gye bateesateesa empya oba district eze empya. So zino ensala the new demarcations empya ze baba bakoze ziba zitegeeza nti muyinza okuba nga mwalina omukulembeze nga wa parish gundi ate bagenda okusala aba parish empya oba sub county empya oba district empya ate yeesanga ali mu kitundu ekirala. So tugenda tu updating register yaffe okuincorporating changes ezifaanana bwe zityo ababa bafudde nabo okubanga tubajjamu okufuna abalamu nga be bali mu register okulaba nga tweyongera okubeera ne register abantu baffe gye bakkiririzaamu. So eno exercise nayo tugenda mu maaso okugitandikako kulaba nga updating register yaffe guno omwaka ogutandika ogwa 2023 okulaba nga tukola exercise eno across the country tufune register esobola okubanga buli omu agikkiririzaamu ate tugikozese mu kulonda okwokunaaba kuzze nga tewali muntu eyemulugunya nti abantu abatali ba kitundu balonze. waliwo ensonga ezigenda mu maaso oba mu ggwanga exercises ezimu ng'emu Secretary General gy'akoonyeeko ebadde the ongoing endorsements ze tuli okukola tutegeezeddwa nti ekiri okgenda mu maaso tetukiraba nga kipya. NRM yalina olusirika mu 2019. Mu lusirika muno mwalimu okukkiriziganya oba resolution enteeseganya eyayisibwa nti President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yajja okutukwatira bendera mu 2011 n'okweyongerayo. So ekigambo n'okweyongerayo tekinaba kukyusibwa, tetunaba kutuula ate ne tugamba nti n'okweyongerayo tufunyemu ka stop over nedda n'okweyongerayo. So ensonga bwetyo bweri kati ekigenda mu maaso kyatutegeezezza ekyabavubuka bannaffe abali okgenda mu maaso nga bendoosinga ekyo it is part of the original resolution ey'ekyobe eya 2019. So kati abo kye bali okukoza kujjukiza ndowooza abayinza okuba nga beerabira nti waaliwo ki entegeeregana efaanana bwekyo. Era tubadde n'abantu nga nabo bayisa ebigambo byabwe kambiyisa ebiboozi nti President munnange abavubuka ndowooza tebamutegeera, ndowooza abavubuka tebamwagala. So ebintu ebifaanana bwe bityo n'abavubuka bannaffe bye bali okukola byakutuukiriza oba byakukakasa abo ababadde bamu n'akabuusabuusa ku sayidi y'abavubuka ne NRM ng'ekibiina n'omukulembeze waayo nga President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni okweyongera tukakasa nti bali naffe. Resolution yaffe gye twayisa mu 2019 nabo gye bagoberera era President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni agenda kweyongera okubeera flag bearer waffe mu 2011 n'okweyongerayo mu maaso ne 2026. Ensonga ezifaanana bwe zityo mu ngeri y'okukola emirimu gyaffe. Mu bufunze Secretary General tutegeezezza nti NRM erina enkolegana n'ebibiina ebyenjawulo. Ekisooka tuluŋŋamizibwa values. What are values? Tuluŋŋamizibwa values. Emiramwa gyaffe nga NRM mwe muli patriotism, okwagala banno n'ensi yo, okwagala kontinenti yaffe nga Africa, okulaba nga tutumbula ebyenfuna, omwo mwe muli socio economic transformation, okulaba nga demokrasiya oba ebyobufuzi byaffe tubikola era nga biwa buli omu omukisa okulaba nga abyetabamu. Naye mu ebyo byonna tulina enkolegana ne bannaffe ab'ebibiina ebirala. Bino ebibiina nga bwatubuulidde tulina ekibiina mwe tugattirwa ekya IPOD, mwe muli UPC, ne tubeera ne DP, ne GEMA, ne FDC, ne PP n'ebirala byatumenyedde nga Revolutionary People's Party, the Green Partisan Party, People's United Movement, National Peasants Party, the Liberal Democratic Party. Zino zonna zaagala kwegatta mu IPOD. Naye enkoleganya tulina nabiri ebirala teyeesigamye ku kintu kirala kyonna okuggyako okukolera Uganda n'Abannayuganda awamu. So tugenda kubanga tunyweza enkolegana eri mu IPOD nga bwe tubadde tukola n'omwaka ogujja n'okweyongerayo n'okulaba era nga twogera ne bannaffe ab'ebibiina ebirala abatanaba kujja n'abo abamaze okwe-expressinga interest okulaga nti baagala kutwegattako bajje tukwatize wamu. Tekitegeeza nti baba bavudde mu bibiina byabwe, nedda. Ffe tubaagala wano mu kibiina mu umbrella yaffe ya IPOD okulaba nti baleeta ebirowoozo bye balina naffe ne tuleeta bye tulina okutambuza eggwanga lyaffe okulitwala mu maaso. So ensonga eyo tugenda kubanga nayo tugiteekako nnyo amaanyi mu mwaka ogujja n'okweyongerayo ku lw'obulungi bw'ensi yaffe. District Tours ayogedde ku kaweefube gwe twali tutandise okwetooloola mu ggwanga lyonna okulaba nga tubunyisa enjiri ya NRM kyekisooka, tuzuukiza bannaffe aba structure za NRM n'okweyongera okubakakasa nti okukolera abantu baabwe be babeeramu kyekigenda okutwanguyira okufuna akalulu mu kulonda okujja. So twatandika kaweefube naye nga twatandikira Bukedi, twali twakeetooloola sub region enamba ne tufunamu obuzibu oba interruption eya kirwadde ekya COVID-19 ne tufuna ka setback ako, naye nga mu January 2023 2023 Secretary General era tukakasizza nti tugenda kuzuukisa programu eno tusobole okulaba nga tweyongera okwetooloola mu sub-regions zonna ze twali tetunaba kutuukamu tumaleko eggwanga nga tunyweza enzikiriza n'enkola ne service delivery okuva eri gavumenti yaffe ya NRM eri abantu ba bulijjo. Twalina programu wano era nayo eya ideological clinics. Programu eno yali esomesa abantu baffe n'abatali NRM kyeki. NRM yesigamye kuki? What I was asking here ndugu Mulindo anti values kyeki. Okusomesa abantu baffe kuba omuntu wayogera ekigambo nti ideology oyinza okusanga nga abantu 10 bayimiriddawo naye na buli omu alina interpretation ye ku kigambo ki ideology. So twalabanga ekibiina mu bantu okwogerera ekibiina balina okubanga balina entegeera ensufu ku kibiina kye bakkirizaamu nga NRM. Twali twatandika okutegeka topics ez'enjawulo era nga tuyita abantu ab'enjawulo okujja wano ne boogerako eri abagoberezi b'ekibiina n'abo abaali baagala okumanya NRM kyeki. Enkola eno nayo yafunamu obuzibu ku lw'ekirwadde ekyo naye tugenda kubanga tugiddamu nga tumaliriza omwaka guno era omwaka ogujja awo we tugenda okulaba nga tusimbulira. Omwaka ogujja Secretary General tusuubiza nti nga bwe tubadde tukola emabegaawo okuviira ddala mu directorate yaffe eyaba Mwami Mulindwa eya media and publicity babadde bafulumya ebitabo ebyeyongera okubunyisa enjiri ya NRM n'okutegeeza abantu NRM ebadde ekola ki oba gavumenti ya NRM erikola ki. Ekimu ku bitabo ebyo tulinayo kye bayita legacy. Kino kibunya ensi yonna era batukakasizza nti tugenda kwatiramu nabo okweyongera okufulumya editions ez'enjawulo ku kitabo kino. Abantu beyongere okumanya NRM kyeki, NRM ebadde ekola ki, ate tuteekemu n'obwo bu flashbacks abantu obutatu rating okuva mwaka guno baguwedde naye nga tubakasukengako n'emabega nga byonna tuyita mu buki mu butawo bwaffe obwo. Abantu abalabanga NRM tebakitegeera bulungi ndowooza nebyekola tebabimanyi. Kano akatabo kagenda kubanga katuyamba okubakakasiza ddala nti tulina bye tukola ate emirimu gye tukola giwandiikiddwa giri documented basobola nabo okwesomerako. Omwaka ogujja 2023 NRM egenda kuba ng'etandikawo program ku levels zonna okusomesa abantu baffe abakulembeze ku levels zonna. Waliwo bakansala betugenda okutandika nabo wano mu Kampala naye nga kino program nga bweri egenda kubanga erolingibwa out mu gwanga lyonna tulabe nga abakulembeze baffe babangulwa mu ngeri y'okudebatinga bennyini mu ngeri y'okusoosinga obuzibu bw'abantu baabwe gye babeera ne babuleeta gye bakiika okulaba nga banjula ensonga z'abantu baabwe era ne bafunayo obuyambi okuzza mu bitundu gye bava. Bino byokka tulaba nti bye bisobola okuvaako ne tunyweza support yaffe mu bantu bikuba tulowooza nti service delivery yengeri yokka gye tusobola okusustaininga obuwagizi mu bantu baffe. Omuntu wagamba nti jangu leero nkuweeko sabbuuni oba sukaali awo tosobola kusustaininga buwagizi bw'abantu kuba gw'otaawadde sukaali enkya era tajja kuwagira. Naye bwebanga tulina programs ddala nga ziyita mu government systems zaffe nga tuweereza abantu mu byetaavu byaffe tumanyi nti tujja kweyongera okunyweza obuwagizi bwaffe eri abantu. Secretary General tukakasizza era kati kino ndowooza eno message y'abo abeetantala ne balowooza nti basobola okusibuukulira NRM. Mwami Mulindwa abadde atwanjudde naye nze ntera nnyo okweyanjula nga omuwanika w'ekibiina ekiri mu buyinza ate ekitanaba kulowooza kuva mu buyinza kuba waliwo ensonga gy'ayogeddeko wano nti bw'otunuulira human capital oba human resource eya gavumenti enamba eri mu 60,000 naye ate bw'otuula wansi n'otandika okwanalizinga eyaffe tuli mu 2,000,000 n'okusoba. Kiba kitegeeza nti wekuba kwetooloola tuyinza okwetooloola mangu. So this is good information. Abo abalowooza nti bayinza okutujjawo bagikozese nga bwe baagadde naye naffe tetukoze eki tetutudde. Ku districts tulina obukulembeze obwa administrative secretaries bano tubawa omusaala buli mwezi okubanga batulawo okulaba nga ofisi zaffe mu district zonna okwetooloola eggwanga zitambula ate nga zitambula bulungi. So bano batukolera regular updates. Twagala kubiriza abo ababadde nga tebatuwa information mu bulungi nabo batandika okubanga bakola omulimu omulungi kuba tetujja kulemererwa kukyukola enkyukakyuka bwe tunabanga tufunye omuntu nti tulabanga yatuzaawa emabega naye nga twagala okwebaza ba administrative secretaries abawaniridde offices zaffe za districts naye nga tubakubiriza mukole ogwammwe ogw'okufuna amawulire ogw'okukola enkiiko n'okututegeeza ffe ku center naffe tusobole okukola response eri appropriate ate nga eri informed. Secretary General tutegeezezza nti pate etandise kaweefube ow'okuzimba offices zaffe okwetooloola eggwanga lyonna era nga exercise eno tugitandikidde eggulu omulimu gugenda bulungi ab'Emityana nabo baatuwa ettaka era be baddako inshallah twagala kusaba buli omu alabe nga supportinga programs zino zigenda mu maaso naffe tuve ku bintu by'okola ki eby'okupangisa eyo kuba wano we tutudde waffe teri muntu atukonkona nti atusaba rent so twetaaga ne mu districts tuleme kuwulira nti oba aba NRM benchi zaabwe bazisudde wabweru entebe zaabwe bazisudde wabweru nga buli we tutudde mu buki mu bwannannyini so eno program etandise tutandize n'eggulu and the next katonda wanaaba ayambye kyeŋŋambye nti inshallah tugenda kuzaako Mityana n'abalala abanaatuwa ettaka tugenda kubanga tuzimba offices mu bitundu ebyo.